Hi, Dwight. Can you hear and see me all right? Hi, Art. Okay, thanks for confirming that, Dwight. How was your guys' weekend? Did you do anything special? I don't know about looking good. Hi, Joe. Uh, Art says nothing special. Florida is starting to open up, though. That's good to hear. Yeah, we're starting to open up in PA, but our governor is still kind of being a jerk about it. But we won't go into that rant because that will never end. Hi, Dave Strains. How are you this evening, Dave? Art says my train club is allowing members to use the facility again. Well, that's good to hear, Art. I don't know if... Oh, here we go again. I don't know if the train club that I used to belong to is letting members in again. I know the East Broadtop has been working on number 14 and 16 throughout this whole deal. Joe says, sounds good. Maryland's still not sure what's doing. Okay. What's his name? Maybe you should take a nap before your live stream. Yeah, Dwight, I probably should have, but, you know, these things catch up with you real quick. Hi, Jessica. How are you this evening, Chasco? Yeah, I took a nap, yeah. Hi, Dwayne. That's good to hear, Chaska. See how many people you got in here? 9. Hi, Sparky. How are you this evening, Sparky? And how are you this evening, Dwayne? Ahoy, Rob. So Sparky says I'm doing okay. Just cleaning out gutters on my shed. Yes, that can be quite nasty. Dwayne says I'm good, just got parked for the night. How are you, Rob? I'm doing alright. Can't complain. Doesn't do any good anyhow. See, we get 11 in here. And it is 7:08. Rob says my shed has gutterless gutters, never need cleaning. Yep. Art says if you're whiting NC, don't blame me. Different author. Okay. So we'll give this about another 5 minutes and then we'll get into this. Hi, Rick. No, the switch just isn't naked, Sparky. Good one, Rick. Oh boy. Oh, you guys are hoot. This is why I do live streams and why I watch live streams. It's all for the entertainment. Okay, Rick, which club do you belong to? Hi, James. Burlington County Memorial Club in Cinnamon, New Jersey. Okay. Hi, Vinny. Toby. Come here, Toby. Come here, Toby. Hi, John. Okay, Jonathan, thanks for popping in to say hi. Thanks, John. We're a little on the light side tonight, but I guess we'll get started with this. Tonight we're gonna have a little Q&A session. So if you have any questions for me or anything in general about mono railroading, feel free to post them, and hopefully someone here or I will be able to answer them for you. So who wants to be the first lucky victim? Can be anything from, you know, electrical to scenery to DCC, bench work, structure building, etc. Oh, that's a good one, Vinny. Well, frankly, I like narrow gauge steam. I just like the idea of steam engines battling up, you know, mountain grades and on shelves cut out of rock, and it's just the size of it. It just has that feeling to it. You know, I first went to the East Broad Top in the middle to late 90s with my dad, and I was hooked ever since. You know, just the just the squatty look of the Mikados, and yeah, I just like it. That's all I can say. Not really a good reason, but that, and they pulled shorter trains, so that would be a little more I don't need to keep as much, I don't need to roster as much equipment or parts and structures available. Yes, Vinny, it is still HO scale. It's just smaller parts, and the structures you use are HO scale. It's the same proportion, but it just doesn't need to. Yeah, there's lots of wooden structure kits. It's the same proportion as HO scale for the structures, 1/87th, but if you're building like roundhouses or anything that trains will be going through, you know, it just has to accommodate the smaller track, the smaller gauge track. Yeah, there's lots of structure kits, lots of laser cut wood craftsman kits. Here's the East Broadtop machine shop that I had worked with Bill Banta to make a kit. That will be an upcoming build video. Yeah, thanks, Vinny. 96 plus windows in the kit, so it's actually it's a full scale. Yep, Joe. It's a full scale reproduction of the actual machine shop in Rockwell furnace. So it has a footprint of about 14 by 22 inches. Hey, Dave Pfeiffer. Or Dave Piper. Sorry about that. I was thinking Mike Pfeiffer. Dave Piper. How's that dining feeds kit doing? Were you able to put it on your layout? No, Joe. That's the one I had about 25 kits produced to sell. I'm still debating sending one to Michael for him to build and to build video. Was Rob asked, was ABT narrow gauge because of the geography or because it predated standardization of railroad gauge? Hey, Chuck. Good question, Rob. It was narrow gauge because of the steep grades and the twisty, turny curves through the mountains. So that's what it was built to, narrow gauge. It was built to go through steep grades and the sharp turns through mountains to get to the coal mines. Rob says, I was not sure of how the geography of the area was, unlike Colorado, where it is more obvious. Yep, you're welcome, Rob. It was a lot like Colorado, except Colorado is high desert. Hi, Wilmer. Hi, Martin. How many cars can you put on a switchback? Well, that depends on what kind of engine and what kind of grade the switchbacks are, Martin. The Buffalo and Susquehanna, that was a railroad, a logging railroad up in Potter and Tioga County, and they had a series of switchbacks. I'm not sure how many cars or what the grade was, but that's an example. That was the predecessor to the Baltimore and Ohio, and then the WAG, the Wellsville, Addison, and Gilton. That was, that's another favorite railroad of mine. The Wellsville, Addison, and Gilton, because when we would go camping up in Tioga County, we would drive up to Potter County, which is where Gilton is, and they have the old. There's a few of the old railroad structures there yet. The station is in, or the station/offices are in very bad disrepair and about to fall over on itself. Probably going to be knocked over eventually. There's also I believe a tannery in Gilton, which is now a baseball bat factory. They make the blanks for the baseball bats there. I am HB. I can't recall if you're new here or not. I don't remember seeing you here before, but welcome. Hi, William. So yeah, the WAG ran between Wellsville, New York, Addison, New York, and Gilton, Pennsylvania. And they had an interchange with the New York Central in Ansonia. And I remember, like, my dad had pictures of the old 100-ton GE70 or GE center cabs that were parked abandoned in the on the interchange in Ansonia after the tracks were ripped up through the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon. Or maybe right before. Mitch B says, question, what type of paint works best on cornerstone kits? Or do I need to prime it first? You don't need to prime it, but I would wash it off in warm water with soap and a toothbrush. And yeah, actually, I would probably prime it. Hi, Nancy. And then use any kind of acrylic or enamel. That's what I've always done. I would airbrush it. Or if you want to, you can use a rattle can. I've used that before, but you want to make sure to sit the rattle can in some warm water and shake it up real well. And try and spray in a fairly warm environment. Does that answer your question, MHB? Are you using an airbrush or a rattle can? Okay, thanks, Matt. Paintbrush. No airbrush. Well, on a couple of plastic kits that I have videos of, I rinse them down, wash them real good, and I've sprayed them with primer, and I've done a combination of brush painting and sponge painting, and that seemed to work well. I have a feeling maybe your paint might be a little too thin. Are you thinning it down at all, Matt? Let me find that video for you, Matt. Actually, I don't think I washed it. I think I just sprayed it with primer first. So let me find that video for you, Matt, and should be a couple minutes here. Give me 1 minute while I try and find this video. Give me 1 minute. Here we go. Hi, Ralph. So there's the link to the first part of the video where I painted a plastic structure kit mat. I just used, well, first I primered everything, and then I used apple barrel craft paint. And I thinned it down a little so that would be easier, so go on easier and not hide up all the details. But take a look at that video, Matt, and there's a couple more videos in that series, and hopefully that should help you. Yeah, you might have thinned it a little too much. That's why it was patchy. And you might have to, I think I only used one coat, but I also used a sponge to get a faded chip paint look. So let me know how it works out for you next week, and we'll we'll see where we can go from there. I just used a cheap can of primer from Walmart. I forget what the brand is, but so hopefully that'll help you out. I'm not sure if primer is necessary. If you use primer, I would give it a wash with some warm soap and a drop of dishwater, a drop of dish soap, because in the molding process they use like a chemical to help release it from the mold. That's all right, Matt. Yeah, Ralph, that's it. Release agent. And after you wash it, make sure not to touch any of the parts you're going to paint, or use some nitrile gloves so that you don't get the oils from your fingers all over it. Yeah, Dwayne, like I said, I would get a pack of disposable, like nitrile gloves to handle it after you rinsed it. Good, and make sure to let us all know how you made out next week. So we have time for one more question, depending on how long it will take. So does anyone else have a question? Well, William, it depends. If it's real thick and covering up the detail, I would try and remove it before going over it with primer. But if it's like a real thin coat that doesn't cover up the detail, he can primer right over that. Hi, Toby. I would try using some 91% alcohol and also warm water rinse. Only on the base. No detail parts. Yeah, usually 91 or 99% IPA. Give it a soak for about 5-10 minutes, and then use a toothbrush or something like that to scrub the paint off. Should probably leave it in maybe about half an hour to an hour. Vinny, can you post a link to that? Or Ralph? I've always used 91 or 99%. Engineer Howell's last video, or Engineer Hall's, there Vinny got it. Yeah, I've always used 99 or 91% IPA, and depending on what type of model it is, I let it sit for half hour or an hour or even overnight. And then take a toothbrush to it, and it should just peel right off. Jessica says I can't even find alcohol except for vodka and rum. Yeah, I'm not sure if that kind of alcohol would work, Jesco. You also want to be careful what kind of solvent you use, because it could attack the plastic if you're using it on plastic. Alright guys, it's getting close to yeah, there we go, Matt. Well, it's getting close to wrap this up so that we can head over to Tom's at 8 o'clock. So, Ralph, can you post the link to your latest video from this evening? So, yeah, if you want to promote your channels, let us know how many subscribers you have. Let us know what videos you have coming up, and if you have any projects in the works. Good night, Matt. Thanks, Joe. You too. See you on the dark side of the moon, Sparky. So last time I checked, I was at 264 subscribers. If Ralph if you're still here, can you post a link to your video from earlier this evening? Thanks for that, Ralph. Thank you, Dave, and good night to you as well. Good night, Rob. Good night, Cuz. Good night, Chuck. Alright, so I'm gonna close this down. So, everyone remember, keep the rails narrow, and I'll see you next week.